Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
From the time the engine quit to the time that I was on the ground was probably literally less than a minute.
A fall from the air. This is a story that we have followed throughout the day. And now that pilot who you just heard from is speaking about his crash landing in Medina County. We're going to hear his story in a moment. But first, breaking news tonight. New concerns coming in from that search for an escaped Texas inmate. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice says that it made a grisly discovery while combing inside the search perimeter.
Yeah, a call for a welfare check led investigators to a home in Centerville with the bodies of 2 adults and 3 children inside. Law enforcement says they believe the escaped inmate took off in a white truck that was parked at that home. Gonzalo Lopez was last seen on May 12th near Centerville in Leon County. He was able to escape a prison bus and stabbed the driver.
Now, the U.S. Marshals Lone Star Fugitive Task Force in Waco is also helping in that investigation. Investigators say that Lopez is affiliated with a gang and has ties to the Rio Grande Valley and San Antonio, but officers are saying that he really could be anywhere. He should be considered armed and extremely dangerous. Anyone with information that leads to his capture can get a $50,000 reward. Now, switching gears now, an epidemic of gun violence. President Joe Biden calling on Congress to take action.
Yeah, if lawmakers fail, the president urged voters to push for change in November in the midterm elections.
This isn't about taking away anyone's rights. It's about protecting children. It's about protecting our freedoms to go to school, to a grocery store, to a church, without being shot and killed.
In his speech tonight, Biden says Congress needs to pass red flag and safe storage laws. He also wants to see stronger background checks, and he also wants to see a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. If that ban does not happen, he wants to see the age to buy them raised from 18 to 21. The president also calling for more mental health resources across the country. This all comes, of course, after the mass shootings in Buffalo, New York, Uvalde, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Doctors have called gun violence in the U.S. a public health crisis. That includes Dr. Ronald Stewart, a trauma surgeon right here in San Antonio.
And, you know, our city's own police chief also says that he's had enough of gun violence taking the lives of young children. That's exactly what happened with 15-year-old Ethan Soto. He was killed last month, and the person who pulled the trigger still on the run. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas spoke with Ethan's mother, and she is desperate for answers.
That I love him, that I miss him. I would have never let him go. I would never let him go.
Those are the words that Gloria Cordova wishes she could say to her 15-year-old son, Ethan Soto. Ethan was shot and killed just after 3 p.m. back on May 17th, feet from his house on the corner of Alston and Callahan. His killer still on the run.
I have a lot of questions, and I start going to what if. I don't even, there's not even that one lead. That lead just, it was like a dead end, and it ended.
According to preliminary reports from SAPD, Ethan was meeting someone when an argument started. That then led to the shooting. 2 people were detained and questioned, but there's still no charges in the case. Ethan's mom says she often visits his memorial on the street corner.
I could feel him. I go to him every day. We all go to him every day. We go over there in the corner and sit with him. I talk to him and tell him, guide me to who did this to you, son.
Cordova recalls she had an argument with her son just a few hours before he was killed, but she takes comfort in how it ended.
He comes in there and knocks on the door, and he says, I love you, Mom. And I open the door and I said, I love you too, son. Just let's drop this and just move on. And okay, I love you. And he gave me a hug, which, had that not happened and we would have stayed upset, that would have weighed heavy on me.
SAPD tells us this is still an active investigation, and at this time there are no updates. Now, at the time of the shooting, Police Chief William McManus said this type of thing was happening way too often in the city, and the county feels the exact same way, and that's why they're having a press conference here at the county courthouse tomorrow at 11 a.m. to address ways to reduce gun violence in our communities. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Details have changed again as the investigation into the Uvalde school shooting continues. Today, State Senator Roland Gutierrez offered new information, saying 911 calls made by the children inside Robb Elementary were only sent to Uvalde police and not to Pete Arredondo, the school district police chief and commander on scene at the time. Arredondo has been criticized for his response that day. Gutierrez says the Commission on State Emergency Communications told him Arredondo did not know about the calls. He called it a system failure on several levels, including with leadership at the legislative level. The mayor of Uvalde has said more mental health resources are needed, but went further this week by saying the gun issue also needs to be addressed. Despite a debate on guns, Governor Greg Abbott has stopped short of calling a special session, a request State Senator Gutierrez and other lawmakers have made.
So instead, some lawmakers were asked to convene a legislative committee for recommendations. The night team's Camelia Juarez asked people in Uvalde how they feel about that.
I urge you to keep this message going forward.
State Senator Roland Gutierrez represents Uvalde within his district, but he is not included in the list of lawmakers that will make recommendations for school safety, firearm safety, and more. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick did not say why Gutierrez was left off that list. The committee gathered consists of 3 Democrats and 8 Republicans, 3 of which are recipients of the NRA A+ award. A hearing is set to take place in just a few weeks, but the Texans who visited Robb Elementary say they want to see laws change around high-power guns, not just a discussion.
Like, we don't need something that's going to rip and shred a child or an adult to pieces. We just don't need that. And I want to make sure they know that we vote. And this is not acceptable to us.
Republican voter Jackie Peterson says high-power weapons do not belong in the hands of ordinary people, while Jennifer Chang, visiting from Houston, says 18-year-olds should not be legally allowed to purchase semi-automatic weapons.
You can't drink until you're 21. It used to be 18, so I think if they're a little older and more mature, then maybe they'll make better decisions on what they do with that weapon.
So far, none of the proposals made by people we spoke to have been promised by state or local representatives. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
And more families in Uvalde are saying their final goodbyes tonight. Today was 11-year-old Miranda Mathis's funeral. Her mother told the New York Times that she was shy when she first started school, but eventually she opened up, she made friends. She was also sweet, and she loved being outdoors.
A funeral mass also held for 10-year-old Eliana Torres. Her family says she loved making people laugh and referred to her as the little nurse who made sure her grandparents always took their medications. Torres also had a passion for softball. Her family says she was hoping to make an all-star roster.
Now, Uvalde also took a moment to remember 10-year-old Nevaeh Bravo. Her aunt says that her name is actually Heaven, spelled backwards. Nevaeh's aunt called her an angel. A cousin told the Washington Post that she put a smile on everyone's face. You can continue to follow the funeral arrangements for all of the victims on KSAT.com.
Meanwhile, the investigation into the mass shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma continues tonight. 4 victims were killed at a medical facility there yesterday, including Dr. Preston Phillips, who police say was targeted in that shooting. Investigators say the gunman blamed Dr. Phillips for ongoing pain following a surgery. Officers say the shooter intended to kill Phillips and anyone who got in his way. Authorities say that gunman was armed with a handgun and an AR-15 style rifle that he purchased just hours before the shooting. That gunman is dead. Our coverage continues online at KSAT.com. You can take a look at the breakdown from President Joe Biden's speech tonight. It's all on our homepage at KSAT.com.
Unfortunately, summer is a dangerous time for teen drivers. The school year just ended, and already a local teen driver has died. 4 other teens were injured in that very accident. Happened around 12:30 on Hausman Road, that's west of I-10. The night team's Patty Santos spoke with people in that area.
This black sedan carrying 5 Brandeis High School teens was left a mangled mess.
Gold-colored SUV was exiting this private property, and both cars collided, resulting in the crash.
San Antonio police say the driver was killed on scene. 3 teens were taken to a hospital. Another walked away with minor injuries. 2 people in the other vehicle, including an NISD transportation worker coming out of the bus barn, were also hospitalized. Hausman Road was closed for hours as crews try to figure out what happened.
It's so preliminary in the investigation. We don't know the speed, rate of speed, or anything like that.
On this stretch, the speed limit is 45, but residents wonder if speed was a factor.
The speed limit's 45, but 60 miles an hour is kind of maybe average, 50 to 60.
The deadly crash comes just 2 days after the city of San Antonio launched the Drive Safely SA campaign.
The 100 deadliest days for teen drivers.
Their data shows the 100 days between Memorial Day and Labor Day are considered the most deadly for teen drivers.
Young drivers are usually inexperienced, and a driver's license does not make somebody a good driver.
Last year, in that time period, 900 citations were issued by SAPD to teen drivers speeding, not wearing a seatbelt, or for distracted driving. Parents are being urged to set a good example. Remind your kids to focus on the road, both hands on the steering wheel, and eliminate distractions. Don't forget there are apps that can help you silence your phone while you're driving. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead tonight on the Nightbeat, a pilot sharing his story with us about his crash landing in Medina County this afternoon. Yeah, what he's planning to do after his scare in the air.
And before you head out to eat this weekend, you'll want to watch what was found behind the kitchen door at several local restaurants this week. That story is next on the Nightbeat.
We come back with breaking news in that search for an escaped Texas inmate. We told you about this just 10 minutes ago. Well, Atascosa Sheriff David Soward is saying that officers were involved in a shooting with that inmate. That's Gonzalo Lopez. The shootout happened on Highway 16 North and Cypress. It's in Jourdanton. No officers were injured, but right now the sheriff's office is asking you to avoid that area. This is after investigators were called to a home in Centerville with the bodies of 2 adults and 3 children. They were found in that home. Law enforcement says they think the escaped inmate took off in a white truck that was parked at the home. And again, we just want to let you know he's believed to be in Jourdanton, and the sheriff's office is asking people to avoid the area of Highway 16 North and Cypress.
I'm absolutely blessed, that it could always be worse. From the time the engine quit to the time that I was on the ground was probably literally less than a minute.
Amazing. Tonight, we're hearing from the pilot who made a crash landing in Medina County. That's William Fahey, who you just heard from. He walked away from this with a plane with its wheels up near FM 211 and Culebra Road. You see the plane right there. Now, amazingly, the pilot only had 2 scratches, one on his arm, the other on his leg. He says that he was test flying what he called a small handmade experimental plane when, just like that, the engine failed.
Flight was going fine, engine temps, gearbox temps, everything was good. I got out towards San Geronimo, made a right turn to head towards Castroville, and the engine just quit.
Fahey says that he has flown that plane before without any issues. He got his pilot's license back in 1980, and he picked up flying again in 2019, and he's been actively flying since. He adds that he has never, ever experienced an engine failure before. After the FAA investigation, he's planning to fix that plane and get it back into the air.
Lucky guys. New tonight, meat thawing in a bucket in a mop sink, roaches in the kitchen, and a restaurant forced to close due to having no hot water. Those violations led to some low scores for a trio of restaurants this week. Here's what I found when I went behind the kitchen door. Spice Fine Indian Cuisine, located in the 3700 block of Loop 410 on the northwest side, came in with a barely passing score of 72. Patrons may come here for the heat from spicy dishes, but the restaurant didn't even have working hot water when an inspector stopped by last month. For that, the place was temporarily shut down. The hand-washing sink wasn't working either. There were flies in the kitchen, and chicken thawing on a counter overnight was tested at 70 degrees, way above the required temp of 41. A re-inspection was ordered. This Jim's in the 6100 block of Loop 1604 earned a 76. The inspector found 4 cartons of eggs sitting out next to a grill. They were tested at 77 degrees. There was no certified food manager on duty. There were live roaches spotted in the kitchen and washing area. Leaking sinks needed to be fixed, so did broken light fixtures and floor tiles. They were also ordered to undergo a re-inspection. Finally, Fast Trip in the 8000 block of Jones Maltzberger earned a 76. When the inspector stopped in last month, the business didn't even have a valid food permit.
Cooked potatoes were being stored at room temp on top of a microwave. Employees were thawing out meat in a bucket in a mop sink, and the ice machine was dirty. The business also written up for selling bags of ice without the proper permit from the state. When we were there, an employee told me they have corrected the violations. He said they now have a valid food permit, and they're still waiting for the state to give them a permit to sell bagged ice.
Now you can catch my BKD reports on Thursday nights right here on the Nightbeat. Several restaurants also got perfect scores this time around. To see who did a good job, use your phone to scan this QR code and it'll take you right to our perfect scores database over there on KSAT.com.
Yeah, and check on that before you plan date night.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Live camera out there right now, 83 degrees. Certainly not as hot as it was earlier today. Adam, this is something we can get behind.
Yeah, and today we topped out at 95 degrees, down from 99 the past couple of days. But get ready because the triple digits are right around the corner. So 96 tomorrow, near 100 on Saturday. We're thinking about 99 the high, just shy of the record by 1 degree. And then 101 on Sunday, 102 on Monday. The good thing is the afternoon dew point should drop off a little bit, so heat indices most likely not getting too out of control. But take a look at rain chances here. Yeah, 20% tonight on into tomorrow, and I think even about a 10 to 20% chance into tomorrow night. So slim pickings, but what you see right here on the radar is the epitome of 20%. This is what we're talking about. Now, weak boundary drifted southward, and that's one reason why our temperatures got trimmed back a little bit today. Weak little cool front. And Pleasanton to Poth, almost Falls City, almost stretching into Cuero. That's where we have this little line of broken showers that have popped up. Pleasanton, light rain basically downtown, just north of the city center. We still have a little bit of a downpour, and I do anticipate a little more development south of Highway 90, south of San Antonio tonight, but it's going to be brief and fairly insignificant overall. Here's a wild card, though, for tomorrow night. You see this activity developing in West Texas, even moving in from New Mexico. We're going to have more of that just over the next about day and a half, and that could trigger a complex of storms to come together and become more organized, and then we may get the leftovers of it by, say, Saturday night, maybe some stray leftovers. That's a long shot, but it's that 10 to 20% chance. Otherwise, we've got development in the Gulf and Northwestern Caribbean here. Likely to become a tropical storm, the first of the season, headed toward Florida. Should be a pretty low-end tropical storm. It's going to bring all of its moisture and much needed rain. At least we could use that rain. It's going to take it to Florida. We're talking 6 to 10 inches of rain for parts of South Florida. That would be a drought buster for us. Instead, just triple digits on the way. 85 right now, dew point is 65. 80s for the most part, still near 90 in some locations. And tomorrow morning, we'll start the day in the mid 70s. By the noon hour, up to 90 degrees. Partly cloudy all day long. Mid 90s for the high temperature, 20% chance of a few showers at any time during the day. Just that off chance of a few rogue showers popping up. And then nothing but sunshine for the weekend.
All right, Adam, thank you. All right, so the game tonight, what did you think? Game one.
I tell you what, I thought Boston was actually going to steal one in San Francisco. I didn't think it'd be game one. I thought it'd be game two. And from the looks of things, it looked like they were going to run away with it. It's the Warriors. But Boston came back big time. And actually, they beat the Warriors at their own game, outshooting them 21-19 in three-pointers. And the Rattlers take game one. Coming up. Game one of the NBA Finals tonight in San Francisco for the first time in the city's history. This is the Warriors' 6th Finals in 8 years. The Boston Celtics have had 0 players in Finals experience. Steph Curry comes out like a man possessed, hitting not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 or 5, but how about 6 threes in the first quarter alone? You got to be kidding me. Curry holds a record for the most threes in a Finals game with 9, but the Warriors were only up 4, 32-28 going into the second. That lead would grow, by the way, to 10 before the Celtics go on a 10-0 run, capped off by this Jaylen Brown jumper to tie the game at 47. Al Horford connects on the 3 to help the Celtics with a 56-54 lead at the break right there. Now the Warriors start to pull away in the third. Curry driving, goes behind the back, finishes with the lane with the finger roll. Jordan Poole pulls up from downtown. The Warriors are on a 12-2 run. The Warriors are up by 12 going into the fourth. But Boston responds, going on a 12-2 run of their own to cut the lead down to 2. Former Spur Derek White hits back-to-back threes to tie the game at 103. That lights a fire under Boston. Al Horford with back-to-back threes threes of the zone. Then Marcus Smart with a pair of threes, part of a 20-2 Celtics run to put Boston up 14. The Celtics outscore the Warriors 40-16 in the fourth quarter. Horford with 26, Derek White 21. Boston steals game one, 120-108. Next up, game two. It'll be Sunday at 7 o'clock live right here on KSAT 12.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Micah Parsons now has 1 year under his belt, promising a real fun year after the Cowboys made him the 12th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. He didn't let Dallas down. Parsons is also able to record 13 sacks, 20 tackles for a loss, and 3 forced fumbles that earned Parsons the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year after telling us today what advice former Cowboys offensive lineman La'el Collins gave him.
Early on when I was learning how to pass rush, she was like, man, you got to make them fear one thing. And, you know, I make them fear the speed, and then everything else can go off that, because they got to respect you in some aspect. They got to fear the speed, fear the power. They got to fear something about you that's going to make them set just a little bit different. And I was like, once you show that, then you could do all your counters, all your moves and things that you want to show, but they got to respect you in some aspect.
Also visiting today with the media, the Cowboys organized team activities of the star, running back Ezekiel Elliott. We reported to you earlier this week that Zeke was in a make or break season, since the Cowboys have an out clause after this season in his $90 million contract extension he signed back in 2019, the last time he made the Pro Bowl. But even with a tear in his posterior cruciate ligament that we didn't find out about until after the season was over, Elliott still rushed for over 1,000 yards starting all 17 games while scoring 10 touchdowns, another 2 in the air. Today, Elliott acknowledged the pressure is on.
I control what I can control. I focus on what's in the near future. Not really worried about what's going to be going on after next season unless we're going on tour for one of the Super Bowls. So.
All right, the Reagan Rattlers take their first step in order to get to state next. Game one of the UIL Class 6A Baseball Regional Final tonight. Reagan taking on Lake Travis at NEISD Sports Park. Rattlers down 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth. When the offense comes alive, Brennan Greer knocks a base hit right up the middle. Cole Tabor slides home safe as a crowd erupts. We're tied at 1. Now keep moving here. Jacob King blasts one deep to center over the fielder's head. And Greer scores as King gets to third safely with a triple. Reagan leads 2-1. Cavaliers answer in the top of the fifth. Ethan Calder sends a base hit down the left field line. Daniel Ripple scores to tie the game at 2-2. This one would go to extra innings. Still tied at 2 in the bottom of the ninth until Britton Moore comes through with a chopper that gets past the second baseman. C.J. Hall races home for the game-winning run as the Rattlers storm the field. Reagan takes game one in dramatic fashion, 3-2 in 9.
That's just what you practice for all week. Team did such a great job of, sticking through it again. I mean, it was a hard-fought game. They're a good team. We've been through it so much. We've played so many great teams and had to fight so hard to win it. And that's what we did today.
All right, game two is tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. at Concordia Lutheran in Austin. And congratulations to Derek White, who's really doing well. 21 points tonight in game one of his first ever NBA Finals.
First of many.
We hope for him.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
Before we go, I want to give you another breaking news update in that search for the escaped Texas inmate. The Jourdanton Police Department confirming that suspect is in custody tonight.
So this is after the Atascosa sheriff said that officers were involved in some type of shooting with that inmate in Jourdanton. Now, it's not clear if the inmate Gonzalo Lopez was hit, but we do know that no officers were injured. And this was happening on Highway 16 North and Cypress in Jourdanton.
The inmate escaped a prison bus back on May 12th in Centerville. Today, investigators were called to a home in that area where the bodies of 2 adults and 3 children were found. Law enforcement says they believe the escaped inmate took off in a white truck that was parked at that home.
Now, again, we just want to let you know that Jourdanton police are saying that that inmate who you see on your screen, Gonzalo Lopez, is in custody after a shootout with him earlier this evening. So we'll leave you with that.
Of course, much more online at KSAT.com and more on GMSA. That's it for the Nightbeat.
Have a good night.